What's up everyone, this is Travis here with Working Class Garage, and today I'm going to be talking about why snap-on cordless tools are not meant for daily use, but luckily Milwaukee has a solution for us. So I'm going to get right into this and tell you guys why snap-on tools are not meant for daily use. Now obviously I'm a little salty about this, as you probably can tell. I've invested in the 14.4 line. I've got the 3/8 impact, 3/8 ratchet, the 1/4 inch ratchet, and the cordless screwdriver. This is just the single speed. These tools aren't necessarily bad by any means, but I have owned pretty much all these tools for about 2 years. This one has already been rebuilt twice. This one has actually not been rebuilt at all, which is surprising. I don't really use the 3/8 that much. This one has been rebuilt twice, and this one has been rebuilt once. So out of all these 4 tools, they've all been pretty much rebuilt at least once. And for me, with how much money I spent on these tools and the quality that I expect out of Snap-on for the price you pay, that just doesn't work out for me. These tools only have a year warranty, so a couple of the repairs were covered under warranty, but I just had to send this one, and this one out a few weeks back, and I had to pay for it all out of pocket. It was like a little over $300 to have them repaired, and I mean that just sucks after you've spent well over $1,000 to buy the tools in the first place. So after I got those repaired, I was done with Snap-on cordless tools. I knew that they weren't going to hold up, and I can't keep sending them in once a year to have them fixed. It just doesn't make sense for me. So since I was so disappointed with the Snap-on tools and the durability and the reliability and just the fact that I can't count on them from day to day, I decided to go with Milwaukee tools. And let me tell you, there's no comparison here for the value, the warranty, and loads of other things. You can't go wrong with Milwaukee. It's absolutely no comparison at all, and we're going to talk about that now. So to start off with this comparison, I have the exact same tools in each brand that would be the exact comparison to each other. So I have both 3/8 impacts, both 3/8 ratchets, both 1/4 inch ratchets, and both 1/4 inch hex screwdrivers. Now this is the single speed, as I said, so it's the lesser of the two that they have, and this is actually the brushed version. This is not the brushless version. So this is actually the lower of the two that Milwaukee makes too. So these are pretty much paired up exactly the same. So let's get right in this comparison and see how these tools compare. Alright guys, so I was gonna do like a big in-depth torque testing and all this stuff with these tools, but after running a lot of these numbers, I really decided that it's kind of pointless to compare all these tools with each other as far as like torque goes and stuff like that, because they're all rated so closely that it would just be kind of pointless to go through and try to compare which one's stronger and all that. I think they're all pretty close power wise, so to go through and do a torque test with each one of these tools I think is kind of pointless. I'm just going to go through and tell you guys the important specs that you want to know. So let's get into this. 1/4 inch ratchets. To start off, Milwaukee 40 foot-pounds, Snap-on 35 foot-pounds. They're pretty close power-wise. Obviously the Milwaukee comes in 5 more foot-pounds. You're probably not really going to notice that much in most situations. So, I mean, yeah, the Milwaukee is a little bit more powerful, but they're pretty evenly compared there with torque. RPM, Milwaukee is 250, Snap-on 350. So the Snap-on is going to turn a little bit faster. The Milwaukee is going to be a little bit more powerful. So you have a little bit more speed with this, power with a Milwaukee. So they're pretty balanced overall. I don't think the speed is that big of an issue. I mean, they both turn plenty fast enough. One thing that the Milwaukee has that the Snap-on doesn't is it actually has an electric brake. So, whereas the Snap-on, so I know that was an issue for a lot of people with the new 1/4" ratchet from Snap-on. It is really weird at first. I definitely like the Milwaukee better with the brake. I just think it makes more sense. Another cool thing with the Milwaukee, both ratchets have this, is a locking switch which disengages the trigger. Doesn't necessarily disengage it, but just locks it to where you can't push it. That would be really nice if you're carrying these tools around in a bag, because even if it's just in a bag and it just barely pushes the trigger down, I mean, if you leave it in there overnight, that can kill the battery. And then if you're going out to a job the next day, then you have a dead battery. You may not have somewhere to plug in. So that's a cool feature to have if you're carrying it around in bags a lot. And also, even though at first glance the Milwaukee looks bigger, it actually has a lower profile head and a longer neck to get down into places. So even though it does look bigger from just looking at it, it actually is going to fit into more places and get you in tighter spots. Now the base of it does feel a little bit bigger in your hand, but I personally like that because I feel like it's got a little more sturdiness to it than the Snap-on does. If you have smaller hands, you might like the Snap-on better, but for the most part, I think the Milwaukee feels better in the hand, to me at least. So now let's talk about price. So this is where Milwaukee really completely blows Snap-on out of the water, because you're getting so much more value with the Milwaukee than you are the Snap-on. So the Milwaukee comes in at $239, and that's for a bag, the tool, 2 batteries, and a charger. Whereas the Snap-on comes in at $413.95 for the same kit with 2 batteries, a charger, and a bag, and the tool. Bare tool is going to be $222.95 for the Snap-on, and it's going to be $159 for the Milwaukee. So as you can see, you're paying like double the price for the Snap-on, which I think is ridiculous. And then honestly, probably the biggest perk to the Milwaukee tools that I like is the fact that these tools have a 5-year warranty. The batteries have a 2-year warranty, but the tool itself has a 5-year warranty. And if this lasts me for 5 years, I will buy another one gladly and not complain one bit, because let's face it, after using this for 5 years, Milwaukee's probably going to come out with another really cool ratchet that I want to buy anyway. So I'm not going to use this every day for more than 5 years anyway, because I'm just going to upgrade eventually. Snap-on has a 1-year warranty on the tool and the battery. Honestly, that completely sucks. That's a terrible warranty, and if Snap-on believed in their tools at all, they would at least have a 5-year warranty on it and match Milwaukee, because Milwaukee is absolutely smashing them in that area, and it just doesn't make any sense to me on why you would buy Snap-on, even though I bought all of the Snap-on stuff to start with, and I feel absolutely stupid because of it, and I wasted a ton of money. So if you haven't invested in the Snap-on stuff, don't do it. Don't waste your money. Go Milwaukee. And something I did fail to mention is the light stays on for about 10 seconds after you pull the trigger, whereas the Snap-on, you have to pull it. The light only comes on when you pull the trigger. So that was the 1/4" ratchet. Just kind of a quick overview. You got the lower profile head on the Milwaukee, a longer neck to get in the tighter spots. You got the trigger lock. You got the light that stays on, 5-year warranty, and so on and so forth. Alright, so let's move right into the 3/8 here. Obviously, as you can see, they're pretty similar in size. The Snap-on is going to sit just a little bit taller than the Milwaukee. Head-wise, they're pretty close. They're pretty similar in size altogether, really. The Milwaukee is a little fatter in your hand, which, like I already said, I like how they feel in my hand. If you have smaller hands, you might not like it. That's personal preference. This is going to have all the same features as the 1/4". So let's just talk specs here. Milwaukee is going to have 55 foot-pounds of torque, whereas the Snap-on only has 40. So that's a 15 foot-pound difference. That's a pretty big difference, really. You're probably going to notice that in most situations. there's definitely going to be some things that the Milwaukee's going to get off by its own that the Snap-on's not. With cordless ratchets, once you learn how to use them, kind of, the torque doesn't necessarily matter that much. Mainly the torque comes in handy when you're trying to like run off a fastener that might have thread lock on it or something like that. But for the most part, you can get on there and manually break stuff loose and then run it off. And I mean, that's kind of the whole thing that's nice with the cordless ratchets, is you can put manual torque on them too, which is why I like the fact that the Milwaukee feels beefier, because I feel like I can really put some torque on it and it's not going to break. And also, I failed to mention that the Milwaukee Fuel ratchets are the only brushless ratchet on the market right now that I'm aware of, but I'm about 100% sure that they're the only brushless ratchets on the market, which is pretty cool. So you're going to get a longer battery life and a longer motor life out of these than any other ratchet on the market. Now, one area the Snap-on is going to win in is RPMs. The Snap-on spins at 275 RPMs, whereas the Milwaukee only spins at 200. So there's about a 75 RPM difference there. Like I said before, I honestly don't really think that's a big deal. 200 RPM, still a lot quicker than I could manually ratchet myself. So prices on these, the Milwaukee is going to be $229 for the kit, 2 batteries, charger, bag, and tool. The Snap-on is going to be $430.95, and that's going to come with 2 batteries, tool, charger, and bag. The bare tool, $149 for the 3/8 Milwaukee and $239.95 for the Snap-on. So obviously there's a huge price difference there, like I mentioned before. For a single Snap-on 14.4 battery, it's $94.50, and for a single Milwaukee M12 battery, it's $49. Or you can get a 2-pack for $69. And all these prices that I'm quoting from Milwaukee are off the Home Depot. From what I can tell, the Home Depot has the best prices on Milwaukee stuff out there. And if you order online, it's free shipping. Or you can go in the store and check them out for yourself and hold them in your hand, just like you can on the Snap-on truck. So that's really nice too, so you can actually get your hand on them. So overall, with the 3/8 ratchets, you're going to get more power out of the Milwaukee, slower speed, less power out of the Snap-on, faster speed, but not really that much of a speed difference, honestly. The main thing here is price and warranty. 5-year, 1 year, like half the price for the Milwaukee. Can't beat that at all. Alright, so let's talk about these 3/8 impacts. Now, I know everybody loves the Snap-on 14.4 3/8 impact. Everyone's always talking about how great this thing is, which it is a very strong little impact. You should have seen this thing before it got rebuilt. It was absolutely destroyed because I used it nonstop. They're good impacts. They're just very expensive, and the warranty sucks, like I already said. So let's talk about comparison between the Milwaukee M12 Fuel 3/8 and the Snap-on 3/8. So the Fuel is going to come in at 117 foot-pounds of torque, and it also has a high and a low speed setting. And on the low speed, it's going to be 17 foot-pounds of torque. I believe that's correct. It's right around there somewhere. So you can put it on the low speed and have 17 foot-pounds, which would be really nice in some situations when you're not trying to over-tighten a fastener. Or you can kick it up to high speed, high torque, and get that 117 foot-pounds. The Snap-on comes in at 120 foot-pounds. Both these things spin about the same speed. They're both right around the 2,500 RPM range. Price-wise, the Snap-on's going to come in at $435.95 for the kit, whereas the Milwaukee is going to come in at $199 for the kit. Obviously, you can buy a bare tool too. This one would come in at $149. This one would come in at $244.95 bare tool. The one thing that I do like about the Snap-on is the trigger. It has the forward reverse toggle trigger. The only thing that sucks with that is there's a bunch of problems with the trigger. My last one, the trigger screwed up. It stopped going in reverse and just had a bunch of issues with it. With Milwaukee, I like the speed setting, and honestly, it feels more balanced in your hand than the Snap-on does. The Milwaukee has like 3 foot-pounds less of torque advertised, so these things are going to be identical in power, and you're going to get more runtime out of the Milwaukee because it's a brushless tool. It's going to have a better battery life, and the really nice thing with Milwaukee is you can get the bigger amp hour battery, so you can go from the 2 amp hour, which it comes with, to the 3 or the 6, and you're going to get even more of a runtime out of that. Whereas with the Snap-on, they don't offer anything besides the 2 amp hour battery that I know of, at least. That's the only one that I've ever seen. So if they make a bigger one, someone let me know, but I'm about 100% sure they do not. These two tools compared side by side are pretty much identical. The Milwaukee has some perks to it that are much better. The dual speed, the warranty, the price, the battery options. The only thing I can really think of for the Snap-on is the trigger. You can get some different color options, and you're going to look a lot cooler with the Snap-on, right? Because I mean, it's Snap-on. If you have the Milwaukee, people won't think you're as cool because you're obviously a better tech if you have Snap-on. Now let's talk about the screwdrivers here. I love having these screwdrivers around because they come in handy with fasteners that don't need to be very tight, air boxes or interior screws and stuff like that. I do a lot of interior work since I'm at a GM dealership. So they have adjustable clutches that allow it to give at a certain torque rating. You can also like manually torque them, which you cannot do with an impact. So that's why I like these. I use these a ton. The Snap-on one, I mean, it did pretty good for me. It started using batteries really fast, and the battery indicator was like always red. That's another thing about the Snap-on tools I hate, is the battery indicator. They suck. They don't work well. You can never tell really what color it is. Most of the time it's red. So that's just telling me the battery's dead all the time, I guess. I don't know. Whereas the Milwaukee has a really nice readout here on the side that gives you a 4-bar battery readout. And from what I can tell so far, it's been extremely accurate. So the Milwaukee has a 15-speed selectable clutch, and the Snap-on has a 9-speed selectable clutch. The Snap-on's going to come in at 100 inch-pounds, whereas the Milwaukee is going to come in at 175 inch-pounds. I'm really not worried about power with these things because I normally set the clutch kind of low to where it gives, and then I tighten it by hand where I want it to be. RPM wise, they spin about the same speed. Now here's where the difference is price. For the kit with the Snap-on, you're going to be at $355.95. Milwaukee kit, 99 bucks. You can't beat that. It comes with 2 batteries, a charger, a tool, and a bag for 99 bucks. I mean, you really can't beat it. 5-year warranty, 2-year warranty on the battery. One other thing I do like about Snap-on that I will give them is the twist-on battery magnets. They're pretty cool, but that's not worth the extremely high price of the Snap-ons. So those are the screwdrivers compared side by side. They're both fine tools. One thing about the Snap-on is it is a little bit shorter, but it's not really that huge of a deal because I'm normally not in super tight spots with these things. It's normally just air boxes and interior fasteners that I don't want to over torque and break plastic parts and stuff. For the price, you're coming in like 3 times lower with the Milwaukee. It's a no-brainer. Alright guys, so that was my thoughts about Milwaukee and Snap-on. Obviously there's going to be some Snap-on guys out there that are saying Snap-on's best, Milwaukee sucks, blah blah blah. But you got to remember that Milwaukee isn't lower quality than Snap-on just because it's lower in price. It's more that Snap-on is just way overpriced because they're trying to give the appearance that they're better than everyone else, which isn't the case with their cordless tools. And for anyone that thinks Milwaukee isn't a professional brand or thinks they're just like a DIY brand or something like that, or if you think Milwaukee isn't going to hold up to daily use or professional use in whatever trade you're in or the automotive field, I would definitely rethink those thoughts, because Milwaukee is putting out very professional tools. I mean, they're going to outlast the Snap-on tools, which are supposed to be the best of the best. So I definitely think Milwaukee is top of the line when it comes to cordless tools. They got so many options for the M12 battery line and the M18 battery line. There's hundreds of tools out there for both of them. Any Snap-on tool that is out there on the 14.4 line, there's going to be a Milwaukee tool on the M12 line that's going to exceed it in many ways. So just to do some final tallies with numbers here, because I thought it was kind of funny. If you buy all the tools that I showed you in Milwaukee here, the complete kits, you're going to spend $766. Whereas if you buy the Snap-on tools with the complete kits, you're going to spend $1,636.80. So you're going to save $870.80 by buying the Milwaukee tools, which is a huge savings. So if you want to waste $870, go ahead and buy Snap-on, or you can save your $870 and buy Milwaukee and have a 5-year warranty on your tools. So don't make the mistake I did. Don't waste your money on Snap-on cordless tools. Now, their hand tools and everything else is a completely different story. Snap-on makes great tools. I'm not trying to slam everything they make. I just think their cordless tools suck and that you should go a different route because they are not made for daily use. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, comment, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this, and I hope you guys all have a great day.